Okay, the Bandit is as finished as it's gonna be. We went with the Yoshimura exhaust. That includes its mid pipe. We have recovered seat. We have Poosh windscreen. The levers obviously are still wonky, but I'm okay with that. We have this little bar end mirror, which surprisingly works freaking so well. We have new chain and sprocket. We refinished the wheels. We have got new rebuilt carburetors to tune for the open Yoshimura exhaust. We've got rebuilt forks. We've got HID. I'll show you that when I turn the bike on. That front fender is from something other than a Bandit, but we made it work. And I think that's it. Okay, the chain and sprocket situation. Right now there's a smaller one. There's a 14 tooth front sprocket. Factory's a 15 tooth. I have a factory, brand new factory 15 tooth sprocket. When that sprocket wears out, but it's got tons of life left in it. It's not like the rear sprocket, which was totally shabammed, but you can see there's still some blemishes. It ain't perfect. Little rash right there. The other exhaust was totally rashed up, and it was hideous. I cleaned all this up. This stuff was all rusty and like oxidized before, and I cleaned them real well and replaced the screws, and that like really like freshened up sort of the cockpit. The levers would do the same thing. I don't know. I like them the way they are. I like that the clutch lever is short. Excuse me. The brake lever is also a 2-finger, and there's new .4 fluid in the brake and the clutch, so they're both nice and tight. I had a new brake rotor on this side. The other one was just a little bit loose. You know, these buttons, like these are floating rotors like most things are nowadays. And when these buttons wear, there's basically too much give in between the two pieces. So that was needed. The other side is totally fine. In fact, they can't be that old. There's no groove or anything in them. So we got new pads. Sorry, the bike is dirty. I took the bike up to the mountains, which is about 2 hours from here. Performed really surprisingly well. It's a little bit soft. It has compression adjustment right here, and I adjusted it the first time I ever rode this bike. I tightened it down some. If you're gonna, like, you know, be up in the twisties riding hard, you can buckle down on this a little bit harder. There's no rebound adjustment though, so the harder you, the stiffer you make the front springs, you know what I'm saying, the quicker they will rebound. There's no rebound adjustment. They are valve forks. They're not, you know, they're not terrible, but they're not, you know, like super modern upside down forks or anything. That's a new front tire. I believe this is a Continental. It's kind of like a sport touring tire. Let me get in the light so you can see. Sport touring tire that did well. The rumor is that after 30 minutes of hard riding, like hard knee down, that they'll start to get hot and slip. I didn't experience any of that. I wasn't dragging knee for 30 minutes straight though. So yeah, the rear tire is it's not a matching set, but this is a Battle Axe, and it does well enough. I did notice, and this isn't the tire's fault, but the bike, this is before slipper clutches were a thing. So if you're going to a corner and you know, bam, bam, down 2 gears, the back tire will absolutely, you know, step out on you. But we'll do a quick sound check. And the bike is, I've crunk it up before, so it's kind of warm. But you can see the HID, that blue light really looks good. That's why I didn't, it had that apparatus when I bought the bike, and I almost did away with it. But I really like that blue colored light. And all of the, you know, whatever type of electrics that are needed for an HID, they're all tucked in behind this windscreen, which the windscreen is an awesome, that's not real carbon fiber, by the way, but that windscreen fits this bike perfect. Like the way the seating position is, these drag bars are aftermarket, obviously, and they're a little bit lower than the factory bars, so it leans you over a little bit more, and the windscreen, it puts your head nicely behind the windscreen. But we'll get a little sound check. So it turned out nice. It runs and rides freaking great. I wouldn't be scared to take this bike. I mean, I just spent 8 hours on it, you know, the other weekend. So, and Paige can fit on the back. She's comfortable on the back. The bike is actually listed for sale. Not in a real big hurry to sell it because it just turned out well. It's a good addition. It's a nice change of pace to this thing. And I haven't done any videos on this bike. This is 2015 Super Duke, and it just is really something. Really something. But it turned out well. That is all. I'm gonna make a lap around and show you all the bikes. There's always some really cool bikes here. Oh, a Duke 790, a Triumph 765, KTM 690 Enduro, S1000 XR. Some cool stuff. F09. Yeah.